यूट्यूब चैनल। आज के इस वीडियो होने वाली है यूनिवर्सिटी ग्रांट कमीशन यानी कि यूजीसी के एक ड्राफ्ट प्रपोजल के ऊपर। वो है मिनिमम क्वालिफिकेशन फॉर अपॉइंटमेंट एंड प्रमोशन ऑफ टीचर्स एंड एकेडमिक स्टाफ इन यूनिवर्सिटीज एंड कॉलेजेस एंड मेजर्स ऑफ मेंटेनेंस ऑफ स्टैंडर्ड इन हायर एजुकेशन। ठीक है, तो ये बेसिकली यूजीसी का एक नया ड्राफ्ट आ चुकी है मिनिमम क्वालिफिकेशन फॉर अपॉइंटमेंट ऑफ असिस्टेंट प्रोफेसर इन कॉलेजेस एंड यूनिवर्सिटीज एंड एकेडमिक स्टाफ के ऊपर, लाइक लाइब्रेरियंस सभी स्टाफ के ऊपर। ठीक है, तो आइए देखते हैं। तो शॉर्ट टाइटल एंड एप्लीकेशन एंड कमेंसमेंट देख लेते हैं। These regulations may be called the university minimum qualification for appointment and promotion of teachers and academic staff in universities and colleges and measure for the maintenance of standards in higher education institutions regulation 2025. So this shall apply to every university established or incorporated by or under a central act, provincial act or state act, every institution including a constituent or an affiliated college recognized by the commission in consultation with the university concerned under clause University Grants Commission Act. So University Grants इंडिया में जो भी कॉलेजेस हो, यूनिवर्सिटी हो, ठीक है, सेंट्रल यूनिवर्सिटी, स्टेट यूनिवर्सिटी, ठीक है, जो भी हो, सभी को ये ड्राफ्ट अगर एग्जीक्यूट हो जाए तो इसको मानना पड़ेगा। सो आइए देखते हैं। दिस शैल कम इनटू फोर्स फ्रॉम द डेट ऑफ नोटिफिकेशन, हाउएवर द डेट ऑफ इम्प्लीमेंटेशन ऑफ द रिवाइज्ड ऑफ पे शैल बी 1 जनवरी 2016। सो 2026 होना चाहिए था, शायद देख लेते हैं। दिस रेगुलेशन स्पेसिफाई द मिनिमम क्वालिफिकेशंस, एक्सपीरियंस एंड अकम्प्लिशमेंट्स फॉर अपॉइंटमेंट एंड प्रमोशन ऑफ असिस्टेंट प्रोफेसर, एसोसिएट प्रोफेसर, प्रोफेसर, असिस्टेंट लाइब्रेरियन, डेप्यूटी लाइब्रेरियन, एडिशनल लाइब्रेरियन, लाइब्रेरियन, असिस्टेंट डायरेक्टर of physical education and sports, deputy director of physical education and sports, additional director of physical education and sports and director of physical education and sports, and appointment of principal and vice chancellor in higher education institution। ये सभी पर ये रूल्स एप्लीकेबल होगा। ठीक है, जो यहाँ पे पोस्ट बताया जा चुके हैं इस पर ये रूल्स एप्लीकेबल होगा। For the purpose of direct recruitment and promotion in teaching posts in disciplines relating to affiliated colleges and university education internally in the fields of health, medicine, special education, agriculture, veterinary and allied fields, teacher education, physiotherapy, occupational therapy standards laid down by the authorities established by an relevant act of parliament। ठीक है, अंडर आर्टिकल 246 ऑफ द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन फॉर द पर्पस ऑफ कोऑर्डिनेशन एंड डिटरमिनेशन ऑफ स्टैंडर्ड्स इन इंस्टीट्यूशन फॉर हायर एजुकेशन और रिसर्च एंड साइंटिफिक एंड टेक्निकल एजुकेशन सेल्फ प्रिवेल। तो सभी पर ये एप्लीकेबल होगा। बेसिकली ये पॉइंट यही बता रहा है। देन देख लेते हैं। The overall selection procedure for direct recruitment and promotion under the CAS shall incorporate a transparent and objective methodology। So ये रूल्स मतलब क्या करेगा इसके ऊपर बताया गया है, मतलब ट्रांसपेरेंट लाने के लिए ये करेगा, यही बताया जा चुके। सो एक्ट मींस यूनिवर्सिटी ग्रांट्स कमीशन 93, ये तो जनरल हो गया, डेफिनेशंस के बोल रहा है। So commission means the University Grants Commission established under the University Grants Commission Act 1956. Constituent college means a college operating under the administrative, academic and financial control of a university. Credit means the number of hours of instruction required per week over a semester, मतलब इसके ऊपर बताया जाएगा। So National Credit Framework NCRF, तो credit means number of hours of instruction required per week over a semester as defined in the National Credit Framework. So degree means a degree specified under subsection 3 of section 22 of the Act. External subject expert, ये जनरल हो गया, हायर एजुकेशन इंस्टीट्यूशन HEI बताया जाएगा अंदर। देन इंडियन लैंग्वेज HTM एंड नेट नेशनल एलिजिबिलिटी टेस्ट। ठीक है, तो पीयर रिव्यू इसके बारे में बताया जाएगा अंदर। नेक्स्ट हम लोग देखेंगे अभी ये जनरल कंडीशन रिक्रूटमेंट एंड प्रमोशन देख लेते हैं। द डायरेक्ट रिक्रूटमेंट टू द पोस्ट ऑफ असिस्टेंट प्रोफेसर, एसोसिएट प्रोफेसर, प्रोफेसर इन HCIs shall be based on merit through an all India advertisement followed by selection by a duly constituted selection committee. Okay, if the discipline subject chosen in the 4-year undergraduate program NCRF level 6 4-year undergraduate program or postgraduate program NCRF level 6.5 or 7 is different from the chosen discipline subject in PhD. The discipline subject in which a candidate obtain PhD shall be considered eligible for appointment as assistant professor, associate professor or professor in that discipline or subject. ठीक है? So, if the discipline or subject chosen in the 4-year undergraduate program or postgraduate program is different from the chosen discipline subject in NET or SLATE, the discipline or subject in which a candidate qualified NET or SLATE shall be considered eligible for appointment as assistant professor. So, आप लोग ये दो पॉइंट यही बताया जा रहा है कि आप लोग अगर मास्टर डिग्री कहीं अलग सब्जेक्ट पर की हो लेकिन नेट और स्लेट एलाइड कुछ भी सब्जेक्ट्स पर की हो तो सब्जेक्ट पर आप लोग असिस्टेंट प्रोफेसर होने के लिए एलिजिबल हो जाओगे, ठीक है। एंड पीएचडी का भी यही बताया जा रहा है कि आप लोग अगर अंडर ग्रेजुएट प्रोग्राम कुछ अलग सब्जेक्ट में की हो एंड पीएचडी अगर अलग सब्जेक्ट में की हो, मतलब 4 ईयर अंडर ग्रेजुएट प्रोग्राम अगर आप लोग का सब्जेक्ट अलग है, सपोज पॉलिटिकल साइंस है 4 ईयर अंडर ग्रेजुएट प्रोग्राम एंड पीएचडी आप लोग कर रहे हो पावेड में, ठीक है, पब्लिक एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन पे कर रहे हो, तो उसमें भी आप लोग असिस्टेंट प्रोफेसर बनने के लिए एलिजिबल हो जाओगे, ठीक है। A relaxation of 5 marks shall be allowed at the undergraduate or at postgraduate level for the candidates belonging to scheduled caste, scheduled tribes और जो भी आप लोगों का रिजर्वेशन कैटेगरीज हो 5% रिलैक्सेशन दिया जाएगा। One or more qualification in Indian language may be encouraged. Publication of book chapters and books in Indian languages may be encouraged. A relaxation of 5% marks shall be provided to the PhD degree holders who have obtained their postgraduate degree before 19 September 1991. Okay. Then notable contribution to the considered by the selection committee for recruitment and promotion of university and college teachers are innovative teaching contribution, research or teaching lab development, consultancy, sponsored research funding as a principal investigation or co-principal investigation, teaching contributions in Indian languages. So इसको successfully raising funding through government angle or venture funds to support the startup. ठीक है? Then notable contribution to the considered by the selection committee for recruitment and promotion of academic staff सब बताया जा चुके हैं इस पे। Then the research publications would be in peer-reviewed journals. Peer-reviewed journal में होना चाहिए and the book chapter or book must be published by a recognized academic or professional publisher with a reputation for rigorous peer review and quality editing. Okay, self-published book chapters or books will not be considered. The selection committee shall decide whether the research publications are in a peer-reviewed journal, whether the publication of a book or book chapter is by a reputed publisher, and whether the contributions are notable based on the recommendation of the 3 external subject experts of the selection committee constituted in accordance with this regulation. तो आप लोगों का जो भी बुक चैप्टर पब्लिश की हो या फिर peer reviewed जर्नल्स पब्लिश किए वो सब peer reviewed होना पड़ेगा। सेल्फ पब्लिश बुक चैप्टर यहाँ पे कंसीडर नहीं किया जाएगा अभी से। Then the PhD degree shall be mandatory qualification for promotion to assistant professor, ठीक है, associate professor and professor के लिए PhD degree mandatory है। The time candidates take to acquire MPhil or PhD degree shall not be considered as teaching or research experience. Okay, no person shall be appointed to the post of university and college teacher, librarian or director of physical education and sports in any university or in any of the colleges or in an institution deemed to be university under section 3 of the said act if such person does not fulfill the requirements to the qualification for the appropriate post as provided these regulations. A teacher representing SC, ST, OBC, minority, women, person with disabilities to be nominated by the Vice Chancellor if any of the candidates belonging to any of these categories is the applicant, and number B option में है if any of the members of the selection committee does not belong to these categories, the teachers who nominated for this purpose in the selection committee shall be one level above the cadre level of applicant. Then the candidates registered for the PhD degree prior to July 11, 2009 shall be governed by the provisions of the then existing ordinances, bylaws, regulation of the institutions. Okay, and candidates shall be exempted from the NEET, SLATE or SET requirements and appointment of assistant professor, assistant librarian, ठीक है। तो जिन लोगों का पीएचडी में एनरोल हो चुकी है 2000 जुलाई 11 2009 से पहले ही, उन लोगों के लिए ये रूल एप्लीकेबल नहीं होगा एंड NEET, SLATE, SET भी मैंडेटरी नहीं है। For colleges coming under the purview of state governments, union territories, direct recruitment to the post of assistant professor, associate professor, and professor shall be either as per these regulations or as per the rules of state government by following the minimum qualification as given in this regulation। सबको मानना पड़ेगा, यही बताया जा सकता है। सभी कॉलेज है, सभी यूनिवर्सिटीज को ये जो रूल होगा यही मानना पड़ेगा। स्टेट गवर्नमेंट हो, यूनियन टेरिटरीज का मतलब कॉलेजेस हो, यूनिवर्सिटीज हो, सबको मानना पड़ेगा। असिस्टेंट प्रोफेसर, एसोसिएट प्रोफेसर के लिए ये रूल है, प्रोफेसर्स के लिए। सिर्फ डायरेक्ट रिक्रूटमेंट को देख लेते हैं अभी। मिनिमम क्वालिफिकेशन एक्सपीरियंस क्या क्या बताया जा सकती है एंड अकम्प्लिशमेंट फॉर द डिसिप्लिन्स ऑफ आर्ट, साइंस, कॉमर्स देख लेते हैं। असिस्टेंट प्रोफेसर एकेडमिक लेवल 10 है, ये असिस्टेंट प्रोफेसर के लिए है। एक यूजी डिग्री होना पड़ेगा आप लोगों का विद एटलीस्ट 75% मार्क्स और एक पीजी डिग्री एटलीस्ट 55% मार्क्स एंड पीएचडी डिग्री होना पड़ेगा। और पीजी डिग्री अगर है विद एटलीस्ट 55% मार्क्स देन आप लोगों का नीट और स्लेट होना पड़ेगा, ठीक है। नीट और स्लेट और कुछ भी सिमिलर टाइप ऑफ एग्जामिनेशन आप लोगों को क्वालिफाई करना पड़ेगा। और एक क्राइटेरिया है पीजी डिग्री, ये एमटेक स्टूडेंट के लिए 55% मार्क्स में से चल जाएगा। Then either the above qualification or the following qualification can be used for the disciplines of yoga, music, performing arts, visual arts, and other traditional Indian forms like sculpture, drama, etc. At least with 5 years of professional experience and fulfilling the following criteria: commendable professional achievement at the state or national level through authenticated proof and adequate knowledge of theory and ability to teach with logical reasoning and illustrations in the discipline. Fulfillment of the above two criteria shall be determined by the selection committee based on the recommendation of the 3 external subject experts or the selection committee constituted in accordance with these regulations. So associate professor के लिए भी क्या है देख लेते हैं। So a UG degree with at least 75% marks और a PG degree with at least 55% marks and a PhD degree होना पड़ेगा। जिन लोगों के पास नीट और स्लेट नहीं है, इसी क्राइटेरिया में जो लोग आएगा उन लोगों के पास नीट और स्लेट अगर नहीं है तो पीएचडी डिग्री होना पड़ेगा, ठीक है। ईजी करके डायरेक्टली 4 ईयर ईजी करके एमसीआरएफ लेवल 6 मतलब 4 ईयर ईजी डिग्री करके जो लोग आ रहे हैं पीएचडी होना पड़ेगा एंड 75% मार्क्स उनमें से ईजी में हो जाएगा। देन जो लोगों का पीजी करके आ रहे हैं उन लोगों को भी पीएचडी होना पड़ेगा, 55% मार्क्स करके नीट और स्लेट ना होने से भी चल जाएगा। Then a minimum of 8 years teaching or research experience in a university or college or a minimum of 8 years experience in teaching and or research in position equivalent to that of an assistant professor, associate professor in a research institution or any other Indian or foreign institute of comparable standards होना पड़ेगा। The research experience shall be counted as per the clause 3.13 देख लेंगे हम लोग। मिनिमम ऑफ 8 रिसर्च पब्लिकेशन, ये है आप लोगों का एसोसिएट प्रोफेसर के लिए, ठीक है। एसोसिएट प्रोफेसर आप लोगों को पहले असिस्टेंट प्रोफेसर तो बनना पड़ेगा, जो ये पहले वाला क्राइटेरिया है, ये वाला क्राइटेरिया फुलफिल करके पहले आप लोगों को असिस्टेंट बनना पड़ेगा, उसके बाद ही एसोसिएट प्रोफेसर के लिए ये है, ठीक है। सो इसके लिए ये मिनिमम ऑफ 8 रिसर्च पब्लिकेशन इन पीयर रिव्यूड जर्नल और पब्लिकेशन ऑफ 8 बुक चैप्टर्स और पब्लिकेशन ऑफ a book as an author or 2 books as a co-author होना पड़ेगा by a reputed publisher or 8 granted patents. Then either the above qualification or the following qualifications can be used for the disciplines of yoga, music, सभी के लिए applicable होगा, बाकी सब सेम ही है पहले का जो पढ़ा हमने। Then professors का देख लेते हैं, professors का क्या होगा। एक easy degree with at least 75% marks, ये तो सेम है विद और पीसी डिग्री 55% मार्क्स एंड पीएचडी होना पड़ेगा। देन ए मिनिमम ऑफ 10 इयर्स ऑफ टीचिंग और 10 इयर्स है टीचिंग एक्सपीरियंस और रिसर्च एक्सपीरियंस होना पड़ेगा, ठीक है। देन ए मिनिमम ऑफ 10 रिसर्च पब्लिकेशन इन पीयर रिव्यूड जर्नल्स और पब्लिकेशन ऑफ 10 बुक्स चैप्टर्स और पब्लिकेशन ऑफ 4 बुक्स एज एन ऑथर और 8 बुक्स एज ए को ऑथर होना पड़ेगा। एज ए सोल सुपरवाइजर one doctoral candidate was awarded a PhD degree होना पड़ेगा एटलीस्ट, और एज ए को सुपरवाइजर 2 डॉक्टरल कैंडिडेट आप लोग को डिक्लेयर करना पड़ेगा, तभी प्रोफेसर हो पाओगे आप लोग। नोटेबल कंट्रीब्यूशन इन एटलीस्ट 4 एरियाज ऑफ द 9 गिवन एट 3.0। बाकी योगा, म्यूजिक, परफॉर्मिंग आर्ट्स, विजुअल आर्ट्स, अदर ट्रेडिशनल इंडियन फॉर्म्स ऑफ लाइक स्कल्पचर, ड्रामा एटसेट्रा, सभी के लिए ये सेम रूल एप्लीकेबल होगा। देन असिस्टेंट लाइब्रेरियन इन यूनिवर्सिटीज एंड कॉलेजेस का देख लेते हैं। A UG degree in library science, information science or a relevant allied discipline with at least 75% marks, or a PG degree in library science, information science or a relevant allied discipline with at least 55% marks, and a PhD degree in library science, information science or relevant allied discipline होना पड़ेगा NCLF लेवल 8, ठीक है। 55% एंड 75% होना पड़ेगा, एंड PhD होना पड़ेगा। देन ऑन लेवल 2 के लिए बताया गया हुआ है PG डिग्री इन लाइब्रेरी साइंस एंड इंफॉर्मेशन साइंस विद 55% मार्क्स एंड नेटर स्लिप होना पड़ेगा। देन डेप्यूटी लाइब्रेरियन के लिए है PG UG डिग्री में 75% मार्क्स और PG डिग्री में 55% मार्क्स एंड PhD डिग्री होना पड़ेगा और ए रिलेवेंट अलाइंड सब्जेक्ट। लाइब्रेरी साइंस में PhD डिग्री और ए रिलेवेंट और एलाइड सब्जेक्ट्स में होना पड़ेगा। मैंने मिनिमम ऑफ 8 years of experience as an assistant librarian in a college or university. Notable contribution is at least 4 areas of the 9 given at 3.9. Okay. So librarian के लिए, librarian in universities के लिए देख लेते हैं। एक UG डिग्री 75% मार्क्स और एक PG डिग्री विद एटलीस्ट 55% मार्क्स एंड ए PhD डिग्री होना पड़ेगा रिलेवेंट और एलाइड डिसिप्लिन में। देन ए मिनिमम ऑफ 10 years of experience at the level of assistant librarian as a assistant librarian और deputy librarian, additional librarian, university और colleges होना पड़ेगा। और institution of comparable standard of which at least 3 years should be at the level of a deputy librarian और additional librarian होना पड़ेगा। ओके, सो ये असिस्टेंट डायरेक्टर इन फिजिकल एजुकेशन एंड स्पोर्ट्स के लिए क्या क्या है देख लेते हैं। यूजी डिग्री आप लोग का सेम ही है 75% मार्क्स, जो लोग 4 year ग्रेजुएशन करके आएगा तो यूजी डिग्री 75% मार्क्स एंड पीएचडी होने से हो जाएगा, और पीजी में 55% मार्क्स और पीएचडी होने से हो जाएगा मिनिमम क्वालिफाइंग क्राइटेरिया। और एक पीजी डिग्री इन फिजिकल एजुकेशन एंड स्पोर्ट्स और स्पोर्ट्स साइंस विद 55% मार्क्स एंड नेट और स्लिप क्लियर करना पड़ेगा कुछ भी होने से, सिमिलर काइंड ऑफ नेशनल लेवल काइंड ऑफ क्वालिफाई करना पड़ेगा। पास द फिजिकल फिटनेस टेस्ट कंडक्टेड इन अकॉर्डेंस विद दिस रेगुलेशन। ए मेडल विनर इन द एशियन गेम्स, कॉमनवेल्थ गेम्स, एशिया कप, एशियन पारा गेम्स, पारा स्पोर्ट्स एट द कॉमनवेल्थ गेम्स हु हैज एन अंडरग्रेजुएट डिग्री इन एनी डिसिप्लिन। In case of Bharatiya sports, the medal winner in that sport at the national level shall be considered equivalent. So deputy director in physical education and sports in universities देख लेते हैं। इसका भी 75% marks UG degree and 55% marks and PhD degree होना पड़ेगा। मैंने minimum 8 years of experience as an assistant director, notable contribution in at least 4 areas of the 9 given at 3.10, pass the physical fitness test होना पड़ेगा, और a participant in the Olympic Games और World Cup और World Championship और Paralympics who has at least a UG degree होना पड़ेगा। So director of physical education and sports, इसका एलिजिबिलिटी क्राइटेरिया देख लेते हैं। डायरेक्टर ऑफ फिजिकल एजुकेशन एंड स्पोर्ट्स एकेडमिक लेवल इन यूनिवर्सिटीज के लिए है ये। सो इसके लिए यूजी डिग्री में इन फिजिकल एजुकेशन एंड स्पोर्ट्स और स्पोर्ट्स साइंस में एटलीस्ट 75% मार्क्स यूजी डिग्री में, ओके, एंड पीजी डिग्री का 55% मार्क्स एंड पीएचडी डिग्री मैंडेटरी है। यूजी का भी पीएचडी मैंडेटरी है, पीजी का भी पीएचडी मैंडेटरी है, ओके। देन ए मिनिमम ऑफ 10 years एक्सपीरियंस एट द लेवल ऑफ असिस्टेंट डायरेक्टर। Notable contribution in at least 4 areas of the 9 given at 3.10. Pass the physical fitness और a medal winner in the Olympic Games, World Cup Games, ठीक है, होने से हो जाएगा। Then physical fitness test norms for the selection of assistant director, deputy director, director of physical education and sports का है। Subject to the provision of this regulation, all candidates who are required to undertake द फिजिकल फिटनेस टेस्ट आर रिक्वायर्ड टू प्रोड्यूस ए मेडिकल सर्टिफिकेट देना पड़ेगा आप लोगों को, ठीक है। सो यहाँ पे 12 मिनट्स रन वॉक टेस्ट, ये टेस्ट होना पड़ेगा आप लोगों को, ओके। Above 45 years 800 meter, up to 45 years to 1200 meters, up to 40 years 1500 meter, and up to 30 years 800 meters. Norms for women थोड़ा अलग है, up to 30 years 1000 meters, तो accordingly है, okay. Composition of selection committee, तो क्या क्या होगा composition of selection committee का? A vice chancellor shall be chairperson of the selection committee. Then a teacher not a member of either of the academic discipline, उसको रहना पड़ेगा. Not below the rank of professor to be nominated by the visitor, chancellor, equivalent authority. 3 external subject expert, dean of the faculty wherever applicable, head chairperson of the department or school. Then 5 members including at least 2 external subject experts shall constitute the quorum. A teacher representing SC, ST, OBC, minority, women, person with disabilities is to be nominated by the vice chancellor. If any of the candidates belonging to any of these categories is the applicant, and if any of the members of the selection committee does not belong to these categories, the recommendation of the selection committee shall be placed before the syndicate, executive council, board of management, leading body of equivalent statutory body of the HEI higher education for appropriate decision. Then selection committee for assistant professor, assistant librarian, assistant director of physical education, इसके लिए क्या होगा? The chairperson of the governing body or equivalent statutory body of the college, okay, shall be the chairperson, the principal of the college, then head of the department, 3 external subject expert. तो 5 members रहेगा, एटलीस्ट 2 एक्सटर्नल सब्जेक्ट एक्सपर्ट रहेगा इसमें भी, देन बाकी का सेम ही है, ओके। देन कैरियर एडवांसमेंट स्कीम जनरल कंडीशन बताया जा चुके हैं यहाँ पे. Faculty members selected through direct recruitment in HCIs may be eligible for promotion under the career advancement scheme. So इसमें ये बता जा रहा है grading of academic level 15 to professor at academic level 14. Granting of academic level 15 to professor at academic level 14 should be limited to 10% of professor's position at academic level 14. The seniority level is strictly assigned by the date of promotion to professor academic level 14 rather than the date of granting of professor. So minimum qualifications, experience and accomplishment सभी के लिए. Then eligibility criteria for assistant professor देख लेते हैं. assistant professor का an assistant professor who has completed 4 years of service in PhD degree or 5 years of service with a MPhil or a PG degree or 6 years of service with a PG degree and satisfies the following condition. First is attended one orientation course of 21 days duration of on teaching methodology and completed any one of the following refresher course or research methodology course or faculty development program in online mode recognized by the regulatory bodies in this AICTE etc. Notable contribution in at least 4 areas out of the 9 given at 3.8 during the assessment period. Contributions such as one research publication in peer-reviewed journals or publication of a book chapter or publication of a book as an author or 2 books as a co-author by a reputed publisher or 1 granted patents during the assessment period. Then assistant professor का है academic level 11 to academic level 12 तक eligibility. An assistant professor who has completed 5 years of service in academic level 11, a PhD degree in relevant or allied discipline, completed any of the following, one refresher course, बाकी सब सेम ही है, ओके, ये सब भी सेम ही है, आप लोगों को पब्लिकेशन करना पड़ेगा. Then assistant professor academic level 12 to associate professor academic level 13A, and an assistant professor who has completed 3 years of service in academic level 12, a PhD degree तो होना ही पड़ेगा. Then completed any of the following refresher course. Notable contribution in at least 4 areas of the 9 given at 3.8 during the assessment period. Contributions such as 3 research publication in peer-reviewed journals or publication of 3 books chapter, or publication of a book as an author, or 2 books as a co-author. As a sole, a combination of research publications, book chapters, and granted patents totaling 3 can also be considered. As a sole supervisor, at least one doctoral candidate registered for a PhD degree, or as a co-supervisor, 2 doctoral candidates registered होना पड़ेगा. Then associate professor academic level 13A to professor academic level 14, and associate professor who has completed 3 years of service in academic level 13A. A PhD degree in relevant or allied discipline, notable contribution in at least 4 areas out of the 9 given at 3.8 during the assessment period. Contributions such as 3 research publication in peer-reviewed journals, or publication of 3 book chapters, or publication of a book as an author, or 2 books as a co-author. So ये है, and as a sole supervisor at least 1 doctoral candidate awarded होना पड़ेगा, और as a co-supervisor 2 doctoral candidates awarded देना पड़ेगा. Then professor का level देख लेते हैं. Professor academic level 14 to professor academic level 15. A professor who has completed 10 years of service in academic level 14 can be granting the academic level 15 of the following eligibility criteria. Notable contribution in at least 4 areas out of the 9 given at 3.8 during the assessment period. Contributions such as 10 research publication in peer-reviewed journals, or publication of 10 books chapter, or publication of 3 books as an author, or 6 books as co-author by a reputed publisher, or 10 granted patents. As a sole supervisor, at least 5 doctoral candidates were awarded होना पड़ेगा PhD degree, और a co-supervisor 10 doctoral candidates awarded करना पड़ेगा. Favorable reviews from 3 eminent subject experts out of the panel of names approved by the relevant authority bodies of the university who are not below the rank of a professor academic level 15. Review भी सही होगा इधर. Then eligibility criteria for assistant professor from academic level 10 to 11, academic level 10 to 12, 11 to 12, associate professor academic level 13A, professor 14 in colleges का है. So assistant professor का academic level 10 to academic level 11 eligibility है, and assistant professor who has completed 4 years of service with a PhD degree, और नंबर बी है और दिया हुआ है इधर देख लीजिएगा. 5 years of service with an MD or a PhD degree, or 6 years of service with a PG degree, and satisfies the following conditions: attended the 1 orientation course of 21 days duration on teaching methodology, notable contribution in at least 4 areas out of the 9 given at 3.8 during the assessment period. Then assistant professor academic level 11 to academic level 12 eligibility क्या है? An assistant professor who has completed 5 years of service in academic level 11, PhD degree तो होना ही पड़ेगा, 11 non-allied subjects, completed any one of the following: 1 refresher course or faculty development program in online mode recognized by the regulatory bodies like UGC, AICTE. Notable contribution in at least 4 areas out of the 9 given at 3.8 during the assessment period. Then assistant professor academic level 12 to associate professor academic level 13A. These are for colleges only. So eligibility है, an assistant professor who has completed 3 years of service in academic level 12, PhD degree होना पड़ेगा, completed any of the following like refresher course or faculty development program, notable contribution in at least 4 areas out of the 9 given at 3.8 during assessment period. Then assistant professor academic level 13A to academic level 14 का क्या है देख लेते हैं eligibility criteria. Completed 3 years of service as academic level 13A, PhD degree. Then notable contribution in 3.8 during the assessment period. Minimum of 10 research publication in peer-reviewed journals, out of which 3 research publications shall be publishing during the assessment period of a minimum of 10 book chapters, out of which 3 book chapters shall be publishing during the assessment period, or publication of 4 books, out of which 1 shall be publishing during the assessment period, or 10 granted patents, out of which 3 shall be granted during the assessment period. A combination of research paper or book chapters or granted patents totaling 10 of which 3 shall be a combination of research papers or book chapters or granted patents during the assessment period or publication of 4 books as an author or 8 books as a co-author by a reputed publisher, out of which 1 book as an author or 2 books as a co-author shall be published during the assessment period. Then eligibility criteria in university colleges for assistant librarian: academic level 10 to 11, academic level 11 to 12, deputy librarian academic level 13A, and additional librarian academic level 14. So assistant librarian का देख लेते हैं academic level 11 to 10 to 11 का क्या होगा? An assistant librarian completed 4 years of service with a PhD degree or 5 years of service with an MPhD degree or a PhD degree or 6 years of service with a PhD degree and satisfies the following: attended one orientation course of 21 days, okay, seminar, workshop, training, notable contribution. दूसरा होगा असिस्टेंट लाइब्रेरियन का देख लेते हैं, एकेडमिक लेवल देख लीजिएगा। एलिजिबिलिटी क्या है? असिस्टेंट लाइब्रेरियन इन यूनिवर्सिटी कॉलेज में कंप्लीटेड 5 years of service in academic level 11 or completed any of the following seminar, workshop, training, attend करना पड़ेगा, और short term courses in online recognized by the regulatory bodies on notable contribution in at least 4 areas out of the 9 given 3.9 during assessment period. Then assistant librarian का देख लेते हैं, academic level 12 to deputy librarian academic level 13. Assistant librarian in a university college who has completed 3 years of service in academic level 12 and completed any of the following: seminar, workshop, training on automation and digitalization or short-term courses in online mode. Notable contribution in at least 4 areas out of the 9 given at 3.9 during the assessment period. Deputy librarian के देख लेते हैं, academic level 13A to additional librarian academic level 14. Deputy librarian in a college who has completed 3 years service as a academic level 13 और PhD डिग्री होना पड़ेगा। Completed any of the following seminar, workshop अटेंड करना पड़ेगा और online mood refresher courses. Notable contribution in at least 4 areas out of the 9 given and 3.9 during the assessment period. The eligibility criteria in university or colleges for assistant director or physical education and sports इसका देख लेते हैं। So firstly, assistant director of physical education and sports, academic level 10 to academic level 11. Assistant who has completed 4 years of service with a PhD degree or 5 years of service with an MPhil degree or a PG degree or 6 years of service with a PG degree. Okay, any of the following, any of these 3 होना पड़ेगा and satisfies the following condition. लास्ट वन अगर हो, लास्ट वन वाला 6 years of service with a PG degree हो, तो यहाँ से आप लोगों को कंडीशन क्राइटेरिया फुलफिल करना पड़ेगा। Attended one orientation course of 21 days duration, teaching methodology of refresher course, research methodology course. Notable contribution in at least 4 areas of the 9 at given 3.10 during the assessment period. Then assistant director of physical education and sports, academic level 11 to academic level 12 का देख लेते हैं। Assistant director of physical education का लिए आप लोगों को who has completed 5 years of service in academic level 11 or completed one refresher course or research methodology course, faculty development program and notable contribution in the assessment period. Okay. Then assistant director of physical education and sports, academic level 12 to deputy director of physical education, academic level 13A का क्या होगा देख लेते हैं। इसके लिए completed 3 years of service in academic level 12 होना पड़ेगा। Completed one of the following refresher course or research methodology or faculty development course करना पड़ेगा। Notable contribution in at least 4 areas out of the 9 at 3.10 during the assessment period. Then next one, a deputy director of physical education and sports, academic level 13A to additional director of physical education, academic level 14 का क्या होगा? So इसके लिए completed 3 years of service in academic level 13 में PhD डिग्री होना पड़ेगा relevant और allied subjects में। Completed any of the following refresher course और faculty development program join करना पड़ेगा। Notable contribution in during the assessment period. So date of eligibility for promotion. When a candidate does not succeed in an assessment, he or she can be reassessed only after 1 year from the date of the last assessment. When a candidate succeeds in an assessment, his or her promotion shall be effected as detailed below. In the assessment is between 1st January and 30th June of a year, promotion shall be granted from 1st July of the year. If the assessment is between 1st July to 31st December of a year, 1st July and 31st December of a year, promotion shall be granted from 1st January of the following year. So for all selection committees specified in this regulation, the head of department should be either in the same or higher rank position than the rank position for which the interview is to be held. The selection committee of candidates to a higher position shall be based on the credentials and interaction with the selection committee. Third, the recommendation of the selection committee shall be placed before the syndicate, executive council, board of management or governing body or equivalent statutory body of the HCIs for appropriate decision. Then composition of selection committee के ऊपर यूनिवर्सिटी एंड कॉलेजेस लिखा जा चुके हैं, देख लेते हैं. So the vice chancellor shall be the chairperson of the selection committee. A teacher not below the rank of professor to be nominated by the visitor, chancellor, equivalent authority wherever applicable. Dean faculty, external subjects expert होगा यहाँ पे. Then head chairman of the department or school. A teacher representing SC, ST, OBC, minority of women, person with disability यहाँ पे रहना पड़ेगा. So 5 person including at least 2 external subject expert. For assistant professor, assistant librarian इसके लिए है. The chairperson of the governing body or equivalent statutory body of the college shall be the chairperson, principal of the college, head of the department, 3 external subject expert, and a person representing SC, ST, OBC, minority women or disabilities. So 5 members including at least 2 external subject experts shall be considered the quorum. Counting the past services for direct recruitment and promotion under CAS. Previous regular, so इसके लिए the essential qualifications of the post held were not lower than the qualification prescribed in this regulation. The position held should be of an equivalent grade to the existing scale or of the pre-revised scale of pay. The position held should be in the regular mode and not in a guest or part-time mode. The previous full-time or full-time ad hoc or contractual service by whatever nomenclature it may be called shall be counted, provided that in the case of Indian HEIs or research organization, the incumbent was appointed on the recommendation of a duly constituted selection committee as per UGC regulations. The incumbent was drawing total gross emolument as per the prescribed pay scale communicated by the UGC, not less than the monthly gross emolument of a regularly appointed assistant professor or associate professor or professor. In the case maybe salary split certificate should be supported. Authenticated proofs such as ITR in case of Indian HCS. Okay. No distinction shall be made with reference to the nature of management of the institution, whether the previous service was rendered, public or private, कुछ भी हो सकता है. So minimum qualification, experience, accomplishment के ऊपर देख लेते हैं. Minimum qualification PhD डिग्री, तो ये है प्रिंसिपल के लिए. Okay, प्रिंसिपल के लिए UG कॉलेज एकेडमिक लेवल 13A एंड PG कॉलेज एकेडमिक लेवल 14A. प्रिंसिपल का है ये. देख लेते हैं PhD डिग्री होना पड़ेगा. फॉर PG कॉलेजेस a professor, associate professor with a total experience of at least 15 years of teaching or research experience होना पड़ेगा. And for UG colleges, a professor or associate professor total experience at least 10 years of teaching or research experience होना पड़ेगा. Then a minimum of 10 research publication in peer-reviewed journal or publication of 10 book chapters or publication of 4 books as an author or 8 books as an co-author होना पड़ेगा. The research publication should be in peer-reviewed. Okay, peer-reviewed होना पड़ेगा. Journals and a book chapter or book must be published by a recognized academic or professional publisher with a reputation for rigorous peer review and quality editing. Self-published book chapter or books will not be considered. ये बात ध्यान में रखने वाला है। जैसे सेल्फ पब्लिश बुक बहुत लोग पब्लिश करते हैं, तो ये अभी से काम कंसिडर नहीं किया जाएगा। द सिलेक्शन कमिटी शैल डिसाइड वेदर द रिसर्च पब्लिकेशंस आर इन ए पीयर रिव्यू journal, whether the publication of the book or book chapter is by a reputed publisher, and whether the contributions are notable based on the recommendation of the 3 external experts of the selection committee constituted in accordance with these regulations. So tenure के बारे में प्रिंसिपल का नहीं है ये। A principal shall be appointed for a period of 5 years with eligibility for early appointment for 1 more term by following the procedure prescribed for selection of principal. However, he or she can serve as a principal for only 2 terms in the same college. After her terms as principal, the incumbent shall rejoin his or her patent organization with the designation of professor and in the professor grade, provided he or she fulfills the eligibility criteria for professor. Selection procedure and selection committee, इसके लिए बताया जा चुका है कि the chairperson of the governing body or equivalent statutory body of the college shall be the chairperson. One member of the governing body or equivalent statutory body of the college to be nominated by the chairperson, who shall be an expert in the academic administration, and 3 external experts nominated by the PC. So 4 members, including at least 2 external experts, and a teacher representing SC, ST, OBC, minority or women or person with disabilities होना पड़ेगा, is to be nominated by the PC. If any of the candidates belonging to any of these categories is the applicant, and if any of the members of the selection committee do not belong to these categories, the recommendation of the selection committee shall be placed before the syndicate, executive council, board of management, governing body or equivalent statutory body of the HEIs for appropriate decision. So appointments on contract basis, the teacher may be appointed against the vacant sanctioned faculty positions on a contract basis for a maximum period of 6 months, only when it is essential. The qualifications and selection procedure for appointing them should be the same as those applicable to a regularly appointed teacher. The fixed total emoluments paid to such contract teacher should be not less than the monthly gross salary of a regularly appointed assistant professor. Such appointments should not be made for more than 1 academic session and may be renewed after review for another academic session. Professor of practice. So HAs may engage expert professional practitioners from industries, other professions, or for teaching and research. The engagement of the professor of practice will be exclusive of the sanctioned post. The number of professors of practice in HEIs at any point in time should not exceed 10% of the sanctioned post in the HEIs. So minimum qualifications, experience, first vice chancellor के लिए देख लेते हैं. A distinguished person possessing high academic qualifications and demonstrated administrative and leadership capabilities, strong alignment to constitutional values, strong social commitment, belief in teamwork. So mainly यहाँ पे situation with a minimum of 10 years of experience as professor in an HEI or at a senior level in reputed research or academic administrative organizations, or at a senior level in industry, public administration, public policy, or public sector undertaking with a proven track record of significant academic or scholarly contributions to be appointed as PC. The selection for the PC post shall be through an all Indian newspaper advertisement and public notification. The chancellor visitors shall constitute the SARS cum selection committee comprising 3 experts. The members of such SARS cum selection committee shall be eminent persons with a proven track record of excellence. Okay. So the following shall be constituted of the SARS cum selection committee. If nominee of the visitor of chancellor, then a nominee of the chairman University Grants Commission, A nominee of the apex body of the university, such as syndicate, senate, executive council body. The conditions of service of the VC shall be prescribed in the statutes of the respective university. The composition of the search cum selection committee shall be mandatory for the selection of VC of all universities established and incorporated by under a central act. तो यही बताया जा सके, ये VC के लिए है. The term of office for the VC shall form part of the service period of the incumbent, making him or her eligible for all service related benefits. Consequence of violence of UGC regulations. तो इस पे डिबेट फ्रॉम पार्टिसिपेटिंग इन यूजीसी स्कीम्स, क्या क्या इंटरप्रिटेशंस, सो ये भी है. एंड देन और एक यहाँ पे है, सो इसके ऊपर ये 6 जनवरी का है. सो आप लोग ये देख सकते हैं, यूनिवर्सिटी ग्रांट्स कमीशन का है ये पेज, ठीक है. सो यूजीसी के चेयरमैन ने ये दी है. सो रेगुलेशंस फीडबैक, ये है रेगुलेशंस फीडबैक 6 जनवरी 2025 में आ चुकी है ये. सो ये है यूजीसी हैज रिसीव्ड दिस. सो ये जो हमने पहले पढ़ी है ये सभी मतलब रेगुलेशंस, इसके ऊपर जो हमने अभी डिस्कस की है इसके ऊपर सो फीडबैक के लिए ये बताया जा चुका है. फीडबैक के लिए सो फीडबैक होगा, फीडबैक चाहिए होगा मेनली आप लोगों को 5 फरवरी के पहले आप लोगों को फीडबैक देना पड़ेगा. 5 फरवरी 2025 के पहले आई रिक्वेस्ट यू काइंडली, ये प्रोफेसर मनीषर जोशी जो सेक्रेटरी है, इसने बताया है कि आई रिक्वेस्ट यू काइंडली टू शेयर योर वैल्यूएबल फीडबैक ऑन द ड्राफ्ट रेगुलेशन. सो ये जो हम लोग ने अभी पढ़ी ड्राफ्ट यूजीसी अपॉइंटमेंट फॉर टीचिंग स्टाफ, ठीक है, टीचिंग एंड एकेडमिक स्टाफ के ऊपर, तो इसके ऊपर ये ड्राफ्ट रेगुलेशन के ऊपर फीडबैक के लिए बताया जा सकती है. 5 फरवरी से पहले आप लोगों को फीडबैक देना है, ठीक है, तभी ये एप्लीकेबल होगा. 5 फरवरी के ऊपर इसके ऊपर फीडबैक देना है, कुछ भी मतलब इम्प्रूव करना है तो आप लोगों को फीडबैक देने का टाइम है 5 फरवरी तक. सो ये था आज के वीडियो एंड थैंक यू फॉर वॉचिंग टुडेज वीडियो. बाय बाय.